Hey guys, how's it going? So we're out here in the Woodbush Forest Reserve, and this is where we are having a school camp at the moment. This is my tent at the back here, some kids over there, and in front of us we've got this little dam, which I've been trying to fish for the last 3 days unsuccessfully, I have to mention. Over there is a bit of a beehive going on, and then you also see in the water I've already got a float there on a rod with some worms on, and I've been trying to catch this fish. You may have noticed there's a lot of movement in the water, so there is lots of sign of activity, but totally impossible to catch this fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my bass setup and then do a couple of casts and just see how it goes, because I haven't been successful in catching anything so far. But a beautiful dam, beautiful area we're in, and unfortunately the fish are just not biting. This is the choice of lures that I'm using. I don't know that much about bass fishing. Size 4 I think hook that I'm using over here, and this is how I've set it up. So I've got the hook in there, I've got this little lure in there, and then I'm going to cast it in. What I want to do is I want to cast it as close to those reeds as possible, because that's where I saw the action, and I've done that a couple of times so far. The dam is quite deep on that side. It's about 4 meters deep, so I've been on the wall fishing a bit, and I've tried in this area, and like I said before, totally unsuccessful. This rod, I'm using a little float like that I've just got on the line, and then I've got about a half a meter to the hook. I've already got a worm on here, and then all I'm doing is, and have been doing, is I've just been putting on fresh worms every single time. Okay, cool. So I've just pulled this out. You can see this little worm on this. I'm just adding another one to this. I've just dug them up here on the spot. So these are not your traditional red wrigglers. I think that's what they're called. This is it's more of a spring worm, I think they call them. Quite active little earthworms, and they stay alive for a whole lot longer than the red little earthworm. So that is the setup I've got, and then I've got the float, and I'm just going to cast that in and then give it a second or two. Cool, so I've put this lure right up against those reeds, keeping my rod as low as possible, the little I know of bass fishing, and I give it a tug every now and then and just reel it in quite slowly. And that's been what I've been doing. I do about 10 casts on a spot, and then I move to a new spot, and been doing that over and over. I see the fish, I see the movement, but obviously there's something that they're feeding on that keeps them way fuller than what this little lure is enticing them to.
Oh, stunning.
So this is how another fishing trip comes to an end. I am not too impressed with myself, because this is now 4 days that I spent at the water's edge, I could see the fish, definitely a lot of fish activity, but I couldn't catch a single one. And I think this is a good lesson for everyone. You rocked up at this dam, tried to fish it as much as I knew. I only had one of those lures that I could fish, so that also made it a bit difficult for me to really judge whether the fish were biting or not. So I want you guys to then just focus on getting advice from the right kind of people. So take a look at the upcoming video, because I'm going to speak to one of my ex-students who was a number 3 bass fisherman in South Africa. And I don't want him to give me advice. I'm actually going to ask him to take me along on a little fishing trip, bass fishing trip. So if he can show us how to do it, I'm sure we will be catching quite a bit of bass, which I absolutely have no idea how to catch. But cool, guys. Thanks for watching. Even though this was an unsuccessful attempt, this is actually probably the reality of most fishing trips. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and share.